So just a yes or no answer. Have you run? Thanks. Many times. Sally's run a lot of ads. Okay. Here's maybe a better question. Yeah, Susan, you haven't run ads. Has anybody run ads and not gotten leads? That's kind of a big, that's a big kind of point there. Because a lot of agents have run ads and they have not gotten leads, and they hear from other agents that, you know, Facebook is a great place to get leads. So if you do it incorrectly, it can be really, you know, frustrating. That's good, Sally. You've got leads. That's good. But one thing about, you know, kind of creating ads, let me pop over here real quick, is if you do it inside of Facebook, it's really complicated. There are 3 pages that you have to check on, and depending on what you're trying to do, it might be, there's different things that you must click, right? So if you're learning about how to run ads, and let's just say you're out looking for buyers, there's a certain number of buttons that you got to click. If you're looking for sellers, there are other buttons that you have to click. And so I want to really kind of focus on that, because Listings to Leads has the Facebook software, and we have checked all the boxes that you need to check, right? So that's an important distinction, or an important difference between Facebook. And so let me kind of explain it to you. Well, first of all, this is our ads page in Listings to Leads, okay? And when you come here for the first time, it will not look like this. It'll have a big button on it that says connect to your Facebook account. You should click that and connect to your personal Facebook account. And the second page will be, great, let's connect to which business page do you want, right? So there'll be one big button here. There's also a video here to show you what that looks like. And, you know, with that, that's where you want to connect first, and then these 3 buttons will appear: create a listing ad, create a landing page ad, and create a PDF report ad. So on the listings ad, let's just go through one very quickly. I've got an open house here. This is inside my listings page. And because I'm looking for buyers, I definitely want to use lead ads, okay? Lead ads has a form that's pre-populated for leads, right? So let's go create it right here. And I'm gonna go kind of slow on this one so that you really understand what's going on. We've got an open house, means we're looking for buyers, and we want to show this information. And so right now there are 3 steps. You got to click this button that says create form, and then you click create form down here, and that will create the form. That's actually going to disappear soon. We are going to make it default that you don't even need to create the form. We're just creating it for you. You need to type in the location. This is in Berkeley. I'm going to type in Berkeley here, and we're even trying to figure out how to make this automated, because since we know the city already, let's see, Berkeley, Cal. Well, that's funny. It's not showing at Berkeley, California. But you would put your city. Oh, there it is. And your radius, you can expand. It's minimum 15 miles. And then we can click publish, right? So we have a $35 budget, 7 days. You can change that if you want. But that is the simple way of running an ad. And because we're using this form, the lead form, there's a pre-populated form on Facebook that captures the lead. So here I am over on Facebook, and let me just click on my newsfeed in case you don't know where ads go. So this is, you know, this is the public newsfeed. So every time you come here, this is where all your stuff is, right? And so here I've got like an ad in front of me, and it's saying shop and buy these weird things, right? Your ad that you're creating here that looks like this on the right will be right there on Facebook. So as people log in on their phone or they log in on their computer, they're going to see that right in the middle of the page. And if we go back to that, let's see if I can find the right tab. If we go back to that, you see where it says shop now? In our ads, there will be a button that says learn more, okay? And when they click learn more, this page pops up, this contact information form on the right. So that's the lead form, and I don't know if you can see it, but it says name, email, and phone number. Everybody who has a Facebook account has their name, email, and phone number in there, and they're pre-populated. So for getting buyer leads, this is the #1 way of getting buyer leads, is running ads on Facebook. Literally the #1 way, okay? Now, I know getting buyer leads, there's a good percentage of you don't want buyer leads because those are easy to get and listings are harder to get. And so we want to talk about getting listing leads too. But I do need you to understand some of the basics of how the system, how running an ad works. But let's go back here and let's talk about creating a listing ad on a later stage property, okay? And like a sold property. So our sold, you may not know this about listings leads, but when you have a listing and it goes to sold, or it goes to a later stage like pending or under contract or sold, our call to actions are not looking for buyers anymore. And I'm going to change this to traffic because we want to send tool traffic from the ad to the tool. Now notice the ad says, hey, that home is sold, right? So this is pre-written language right here. That home is sold. That's going to affect your home value. Click to get a free home value. So it's all about getting a free home value, right? Because buyers are not looking at sold properties because they're trying to buy, right? A few might, but really sold advertising is to get more listings. So if I go over here to the listings page and I want to show you what happens on the actual core tool. So I've got a property here that's sold. And this listing landing page or the single property website, let's just go here. I can open this. So our single property website on a sold property, if we click this eyeball, should be, this is the single property website. When it's just listed, it's going to say just listed up on the top. When it's open house, it's going to say open house. But in this case, it's sold. And when the call to action pops up, it says that affected your home value and get your free estimate here. So we really want people to land on this page to see the home and then obviously get their free home value. So when you're looking for sellers with a single property website or the listing, you definitely want to keep it. You want to go to ads and you want to drive traffic to that page, okay? And that's kind of key. That's you're trying to do that. Now, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to say sold, and I'm not going to leave it on lead ads because I want them to put their address in, so I have their address. And when the second question here, once you type in your address is, hey, well, let me just type in my address, right? 5595 Westland Road. Why is that? Sorry, there's some weird thing here. I can't. There we go. And then get market analysis. And now it says, great. In this case, on this particular page, I have it required to have a phone number. But right now, I already have the address, okay? And so I have it required, which I don't really recommend, but I'll just put my phone number in there and click send to me, right? So at this point, now that I've given you my phone number or my email address, I'm going to be able to get an email of the home value. And you, the agent, have all my contact information. So to take advantage of that, to take advantage of it, you want to drive the traffic there, right? So I have a question here. Do I pay for ads? Yes, Renata, you pay for your own ads. If you're using our system, you're paying us to use our platform and use all the tools. But you, obviously, if you want to run ads on Google, you're going to pay for those ads. If you want to run ads on Facebook, you can pay for those ads. And if you want to run ads on Bing, you can pay for those ads. If you want to take our landing page and say, hey, I want to take my this page and go run a print ad in a newspaper, guess what? You're going to pay for that too, Renata. So this is how you run ads. Right here is the budget. And so when you publish, it's going to charge your credit card that is on your business page. Okay. So that's kind of worth knowing that's how it works. And you need to have a credit card on your business page on Facebook to pay for the ad. If you don't, it won't really, it won't approve it. Ideally, you get a message, but you want to make sure you have a credit card on your business page before you try to run that. So that's running listing ads, right? You can also create landing pages and landing page ads. So the landing page section is over here, right? So there are all kinds of landing pages. We have one for free home values. We have one for down payer assistance, new construction. You can also create your own custom landing pages in Property Valuation Plus. You kind of want a number of these for your area, right? This is Pleasant Hill. It's a farm market adjacent to my core market. You all probably have areas like that where you're trying to build business. You want to make sure that you have a landing page like this for all of your areas where you want more listings. And then you can also create custom ones. You know, here's a custom landing page I'll show you that I created. You can incorporate video on this. You can put a timer on it. Any of the words that you see in the blue forms here, you can edit. And so creating landing pages is a smart thing to do if you want buyers, but only in sort of niche concepts, okay? I live in Lafayette, California. You don't want to create a landing page that says sign up for a free list of Lafayette homes for sale, because as you know, everybody else knows, they can go find homes for sale in Lafayette in 5 seconds on the internet. So signing up for a list is not that compelling. So creating this to get people to sign up for a list of homes for sale doesn't work very well at all. It does work if it's a kind of unique, special kind of properties that you're selling, right? Golf course properties, waterfront properties, lakefront properties, horse properties, or even a development, or even a neighborhood, right? I live in Lafayette. There's a really small little neighborhood here called Release Valley. Really pretty, probably not more than 500 homes in that. And it's hard to get. So if you want to create a page for that to say this is really kind of a hard, property to find, sign up for a list and I'll get this for you, ASAP. Well, that's when creating a landing page custom for buyers really works, okay? So I see a question here, and feel free to put your questions in the chat panel. Can you talk? Yeah. Susan wants to know about lifetime budget. So let's go over and create an ad. And I'm going to create an ad on a landing page, okay? And I'm going to do one for, let's see, I'll do one for new construction, okay? And I'm going to leave it on lead ads because I want to get the name and phone number from Facebook and email. And this question here of lifetime budget and daily budget. First, I want to say either option that you use, it's going to max out at $35, whatever that dollar amount is there, right? Now, imagine this is a 7-day ad. Whenever you start, our default is 7 days. You can make it longer or shorter, but Facebook wants a minimum of $5 a day to run an ad. So if you wanted to run an ad for 1 day, you'd have to put down $5. We have it 7 days. 7 times 5 is 35. That's kind of how it works. But what you don't know the lifetime budget question is really related to an old question that we used to hear, and I don't hear it much anymore, which is when is the best time and when is the best day to run an ad, right? In my space, what's the best time? And nobody really asks that anymore, and that's fine. But the answer to that question is I don't know. I don't know, and Scott doesn't know. And I have heard some anecdotal stuff. I've heard that Sunday mornings, we've had clients say, God, we get so many seller leads on Sunday mornings. Now, I haven't heard that in 4 years. So, but what lifetime budget does, as opposed to daily, if I put it on daily and it's 7-day ad, it's going to put $5 every day on my Facebook ad, right? And then when people use up the $5, it's just going to wait until the next day to use the next $5. And what we don't know is that maybe on Thursday and Friday, nobody responds to your ads because they're all busy working or who knows. But they don't really respond, and your $5 doesn't get used up. And you really want the $5 for that day to get used up, because the more it's used, the more leads you get, right? But if you have it on lifetime budget, which is a weird name, but that is what it is, what that tells Facebook is use all the money whenever there are a lot of people on Facebook. Like maybe Sunday morning, everybody is on Facebook, right? And you wouldn't know that because you just don't know. But that tells Facebook, place the money when most people are on Facebook, all right? So that's what lifetime budget means. Doesn't mean you're paying them for the rest of your life. It means that's going to end in 7 days. You're going to max out $35, and they're going to put those $35 in play as soon as there are people there to take advantage of it, okay? So that, I hope that answers the question of the difference there. I clicked this button here by mistake while we were talking, and I want to talk about it. It's called Retarget Current Leads. Now, I don't see it when I come to the Ads tab, but you might see it when you come here, where there's a button that says turn on, and I think I've already agreed, oh no, it says please agree to custom audience terms. So it's called retargeting, and I am going to accept that. And I want to explain to you what retargeting is. So let's say a number of you on this call have captured leads before from Facebook. And some of you have been clients with us for months and even years, and you have a whole lot of leads inside of listings to leads. When you turn on the custom audience and retargeting, this allows you to run an ad. So let's say that now I want to tell everybody about my open house, right? Just normal thing. I got an open house. I got something just listed. I want to run it, right? And you can say, I want everybody within 15 miles of Berkeley to see this. But you can also say, I also want to retarget my current leads, the leads that I captured in the past. Now, when you turn all that retargeting on, listings to leads, our company is going to create custom audience files inside of your Facebook account. And you may not know what that is, and I don't want to kind of waste the time to go here, but if you write anything down, I would write down this word, custom audience, in Facebook. And here's why. When we turn it on here, any lead that you capture in the future is going to get dropped into some lead files. One's buyer leads, the other is seller leads, and the other is all leads, okay? And you'll be able to search right here those names. Now, I don't think I have a custom audience, so there's nothing there for me to search, but you could type in buyer leads. You might have bought leads for years from Zillow. You might have bought leads from Bold, right? All these companies you can be having leads from, and you can create custom audiences inside Facebook to upload those spreadsheets of leads, and then you can target those people because you knew at one time they were interested in property and you just want to stay in front of them, right? just for a little bit of dose of reality, I know a lot of realtors feel like they're going to capture a lead and that lead's going to turn into a contract in like 48 hours. And that is awesome. It's an awesome idea, but that is not reality. Reality is people are looking for information. They want information, and you need to kind of get in front of them a few times. So using retargeting, notice that my ad here is sponsored by Listings to Leads. Your ad is going to be sponsored by your business page. So every time you can get an ad in front of your old leads, that's going to help you convert those leads. All right. So definitely use retargeting. Now, I do want to say one more thing. You have the retarget list. To use the retarget list, you have to have 1,000 leads in it. You can't have 5 or 10. Now, if you're a new client of ours and you've just run Facebook ads for the first time, you're only going to get, I don't know, 10 or 20 leads at a time. So it's going to take you a while to get that list to be strong enough, big enough to retarget. If you've been a client of ours for a few years, you've probably got thousands of leads. And those will all be swept into those files, and you can use those custom audiences right away. So let's go over to the ads tab, and let's also kind of talk about another way of capturing leads, but also converting leads. And that is this page here that says create PDF report ad. When you click that, you will notice there are 50 different reports, 25 for sellers and 25 for buyers, okay? And when you use that, well, let's just say 25 factors that impact the value, maybe you want to run an ad on that. Well, there's a white button right here so you can download the report and look at it yourself before you run the ad. And then when you're ready to run it, just click this and you see this big, great looking ad here. It's going to be sponsored by you. You're going to create the form, which captures the contact information. Click create form down here, and then type in the location, click retarget if you've got a big list of 1,000 leads or more, and then click publish, right? That is how you run PDF report ads. And I recommend that you do, whether you have old leads or you don't, that you leverage this, right? You want to make sure that you are, because the whole point of advertising on Facebook is, one, of course, to capture leads, but the other is to build your brand, okay? And let me go to my page here. Now, these are short ads, but when you run an ad, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see it says reached 223 people, reached 300 people? When I ran these ads, I just ran them for like a day, so it was very quick. But the point is, reach means people saw your ad, okay? So if you're going to remember anything or write anything down, I definitely recommend that you write what I'm about to tell you down. I think you should be running at least 8 ads every month. That's 2 ads a week, okay? And you can spend $200, $300 among all those ads. You can create an ad like this, which is a listing ad for any property at any status. And since we're looking for buyers, we're going to leave it on lead ads. And when you do that, you know, you can leave it at 35. You can even shorten it for 20 bucks for 4 days. That's $5 a day. But if you run a $20 ad in the United States, somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 people are going to see that ad. That is the reach, okay? They're going to see it. Now, they're not all going to click on it, but when they go to Facebook, let's go back to Facebook, they're going to see your ad and it's going to be sponsored by your business page, right? And that's the key, is you want to get your brand as a realtor out there, right? And so always run 1 listing ad every week for minimum 20 bucks, okay? The default is 35. You can change it and shorten it up and change the budget. But minimum 20 bucks, and you're going to see 2,000 to 3,000 people like it. You're going to know because the reach is going to be visible to you right down here, right? And then on the same week, every week, either run a landing page ad or run a PDF report ad. And you can run those for 30 bucks or you can run those for 50 bucks, depending on your budget. The more you spend on your ads, the more clicks you can get, the more leads you can capture, okay? And I want to click on create a landing page ad to talk about my home value ads, because this is one where people, now remember, we're trying to get, this is a home value ad, so we're trying to get listing leads. So we definitely want to use traffic because we want people to give us their address, okay? And this is my Pleasant Hill home value. You should customize this. This language here is pretty generic, but if you say, 50 homes sold in Pleasant Hill last month, you can customize it down here. Whatever you type in this box will show up here. The high was whatever, and you can say, 300 homes sold this year. But whatever I type in the bottom left will show up on the top right. And you definitely want to do that, but I do want to caution you, I want you to be fully aware that running home value ads on Facebook is one of the lowest ways of getting high quality listing leads. I do recommend you run at least one ad like this every month, because as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be seen by thousands of people, and you want people to know that you can help them get a free home value. You want them to know that you can provide that kind of service. But your lead capture here is going to be super weak because the radius, you can't really target very well because Facebook has removed the rules, and that's kind of it, right? But I do recommend that you run an ad like that at least once a month. And then you can run other landing page ads like the new construction ad I did, or you can use any of these PDF reports, right? Run an ad for buyers this week. Next week, run an ad for sellers. And that's kind of it. That makes up 8 ads a week. When you spend 200, if you spend 200 a month on 8 ads for a month, your business page will be seen by 15 to 20,000 people on Facebook, okay? Just like this page. So again, that's 200 bucks a month, 15 to 20,000 people. If you spend, 300 a month, it's gonna be more people see it. And you're also gonna collect like 100 to 200 leads a month or more, depending on your budget, right? So it does great for your brand. You can get buyer and seller leads. You don't need listings. You can use the PDF reports if you want. And also, as I mentioned earlier, the best way to get buyers is to run a listing ad. But what if you don't have listings? You can use this green button here to grab a listing, which would actually, if you have the permission to borrow a listing, just type in the zip code and MLS ID and deselect this button, and we'll create all the tools in there for you to run ads on. You'll be able to run ads on that and get great buyer leads. So that's kind of the story with Facebook. It's pretty simple. The cool thing is we're going to make Facebook ads even easier. Like you'll be able to run an ad in 3 seconds. So are there any questions? Can I help you with anything about Facebook? I will say this, I'll give this to you now. We have a blog post on our blog section at the bottom of our page called Realtors Stuck Inside with Time on Your Hands. And in that post, it's it right here. I'm going to send this to you right now. And I recommend that you grab that because there's a section on how to create ads, the number 2 video. And number 3 is the top tools for getting seller leads. So all of the tools that capture listing leads are covered here. One of them is running a home valuation landing page, but that's actually at the bottom of the list. That is not at the top of the list. And if you want listings, you want to know what's at the top of that list. So any other questions about Facebook? I will tell you this, in case you're not fully aware, in the United States, 70% of adults spend 40 minutes a day on Facebook. And as I've shown you, it's pretty easy to run ads and be seen by thousands of adults. So definitely, this should be an important part of your business strategy if you're going to be in real estate. because you can run ads very quickly for just a few bucks, 20, 30, 40 bucks, get a lot of visibility and capture a lot of leads. If you need help, get in our mastermind group and ask questions, or ask questions on the support page right down here in every one of your accounts. And you can do that, put your question there, you get your answers super fast. Are there any other questions? Let's see here. I think I kind of see a question. Let me see. Oh, okay, got it. Okay. Oh, I have a pixel question. Sally, I don't know anything about pixels. Is there any way we can really push Facebook posts without purchasing ads? Yes, Renata. Yeah. So, and that's a great question, Renata. Let me ask this one. Let me show you. If you go to listings, we have social media auto posting. Yeah. Sally, about the pixels, I would ask support, which is this page right here. Like what's going on with that? I'm not quite sure what that is. So Renata is asking a question about how can I post without paying for an ad? Now, if you go to the dashboard, no, not the dashboard, you go to the Get Started page, right when you come in, there's this place here that says set up auto posting. And if you set up auto posting, that's going to help you connect your Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn accounts to listings to leads. And at that point, the minute that you get a listing in your account, or if you change the status from like active to under contract, we're going to auto post to your social media. Okay. So let me click on this and show you what that looks like. So I think this is an open house, and up here it says it was auto posted in June, right? 28th. So let's click on LinkedIn and let's go see what in the world that looks like. This is my open house auto post, right? And it's got emojis, it's got hashtags. If you click on it, it's got a cool page to capture leads and deliver them to you, right? So that is auto posting, but also it auto posts to Facebook. Now, often we delete it because we have a lot of our kind of content here, but this is an auto post on Facebook, okay? So Renata, I want you to pay attention to this one. And I want all of you to pay attention to this because this is a very important point. Remember how I said when you run an ad for 20 bucks, it's going to be seen by 1,000 to 2,000 people? I'm sorry, 2,000 to 3,000 people. This was auto posted on June 28th. So quite a couple weeks ago. Only 73 people saw this. And here's the kicker. Let me go to my homepage of listings. This is our listings to leads business page. All right. And one thing about our business page is we have 13,000 people who follow this page, right? So why is it that 13,000 people follow this page, but only 73 saw the post? That's the answer. That's an answer. That's an answer to a question, Renata, that you did not ask. And that is, will people actually see it, right? Will people actually see your post, whether you handwrite them yourself or you use our auto posting? The answer is no. Not many people are going to see those kinds of posts because that's not really Facebook's business model. So what you want to know when you're posting things to your own business page is how many people follow the page. There are a lot of, I've talked to realtors who have 100, 150 people following their page, right? Not a lot of people. Only 5% of who follows your page see what you put on your page. Notice we have 13,000 people, but only 75 people are seeing these things, right? So that's kind of crazy making. 140 saw this one, right? 8 people saw this one, or no, 250, but that's because we boosted it. We put money behind it, right? So The point is, running ads is going to be, your post will be seen by thousands. If you just boost it, it's only going to be 5% of whoever is following your business page. I'm sorry, not boosting. If you just put a post on here, if you auto post, maximum 5% is going to see that. So Renata, it's great to be able to say, yeah, I put things on Facebook. You should list with me, right? If you have 200 people that follow your Facebook page, that means 10 people will see what you put there, okay? So, and that's cool, but if you want thousands of people and you want like dozens of leads, running ads is where it's at. So, can I answer any other questions for you? We can talk about other aspects as well, but that is, that's really what you need to be thinking of in terms of Facebook. Is I want to build my brand and I need more leads. If you need more leads, if you need buyer leads, definitely, Facebook ads is the way to go. If you want seller leads, I really recommend using the PDF report ads to capture contact information by using our seller reports, or by running ads on listings that are either under contract, and actually I think just sold, because under contract, it's got to be a very compelling reason. One thing I will tell you, when you've sold a property, and this happens, this is a really common occurrence, you want to drive traffic because we're trying to get listing leads. One thing that is happening all over the country is people are getting multiple offers and people are selling above asking, or people are selling a home in a matter of days, right? So over here, we just got some generic information, right? That property is sold. You could also say, it was in contract in 5 days, whatever the real number is, right? Sold, 40K above asking. These are common occurrences right now, and actually, it's funny, it's weird that agents don't think that they should be telling this story. You should be shouting that story, because when you want to sell a home, for you guys, this is what you do for a living. For the average person, selling a home is right up there with root canals. Nobody wants to do it. They only have to do it, or they feel compelled to do it. And if you can tell them you can do it quickly and get them good money, and maybe even say, hey, I've got 7 more buyers still looking, well, that's what gets people to click these kinds of ads. So the generic on the sold, you really have to kind of think, how am I going to motivate people to click my ad and give me their contact information, give me their address? It might be that, you've got, you're selling homes fast and above asking. That's always a good motivator. So guys, that's my story for Facebook today. My apologies for being late. Are there any more questions that I can answer for you? And I will say this, if you should all be in the mastermind group. And if you're not, use the, let's see if I can find my way there. Use the support page to get into the mastermind group. And when you do, when you're running ads, please share with us your results, right? Because all of us are learning that the target of Facebook, it's always moving, right? And so a lot of our clients share what they're doing, right? And one thing that everybody wants to know is, hey, I spent 30 bucks and I got 20 leads, and here's what my ad looked like. And if you're doing that, if you're running ads, we would really appreciate it. All of our clients would appreciate it. This is a private group only for our clients. So it really helps people to understand, like this guy on the 25th. He said, I ran 2 ads, $35 each, 70 total spend. It's 3 days and I've got 45 new leads, right? This is helpful for everybody to understand that it works. And then later on, he even showed us what the ads look like, right? So, and there was a great discussion. So if you want to learn about what's going on, certainly check out the mastermind group. And if you feel like it, sharing what's going on for you, it would help everybody learn. So everybody, thanks so much for joining me today. Keep safe out there, and lean on our support team if you have questions, and we'll be happy to help you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.